Beware, I'm about to spread some negativity here, guys, so if you're not interested about seeing this video, then you feel free to click right off away. It's about the hard and brutal truth of traveling that nobody ever tell you. Traveling is one of the best things about life, and we all heard about the good things about traveling. Like the moment when we go to that specific place, right, and the moment we eat that different foods and the joy and the laughter. So basically we heard everything about positive in terms of traveling, and we didn't hear about the negative side of traveling. So what I'm about to tell you is about the brutal truth of traveling that could happen to you. Just because we ignore this kind of idea, it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. So I'm trying to tell you this not to instill fear of traveling, but I'm trying to help you to be aware of what's going to happen if you're going to face this kind of trouble along the way. Beware, I'm about to spread some negativity here, guys, so if you're not interested about seeing this video, then you feel free to click right off away. Okay, let's start with number one. You can become a victim of criminal syndicate. Yes, you know, our world is full of monsters and it's a very chaotic world, right? And there are a lot of syndicates, and there are cases where a lot of travelers are being a victim of, like, for example, like bringing drugs from one country to another. And you know, majority of the countries, if you're going to bring drugs, right, it's a death penalty. And there are cases where regardless of how they prove their innocence, still don't be a victim for this kind of thing. So the best thing to do is to be all the time be vigilant. Yes, so every time it's somebody who's going to approach you, so try to really be very smart about it and think if this one will do good or harm, and every time you check properly. So even though if you're going to prove your innocence, right, but the country will still carry through their death penalty. So all the time use your brain and don't be a stupid one. Okay, number two, prone to diseases. Yes, one of the brutal truths that nobody ever told you about traveling is that you might acquire a disease. Yes, so okay, so guys, every time you're going to travel, right, trying to research first before you go to that specific country. Now the information in the internet are at the tips of your fingertips, right? So before you're going to your next destination, perhaps you visit to your local doctor, you know, to have some kind of any vaccinations in that specific area. So I'll take note of that. Okay, number three, another brutal truth that nobody ever told you is you might go to jail for the crimes that you're not really aware. Yes, so you know, basically in the world we live in a different cultures, right, where for that specific kind of actions is different from this normal other culture. So sometimes we often to take it for granted, but sometimes, guys, we need to really research so much before we're going to enter in the country, because there are some countries that are very sensitive. For example, like, you know, just like in Middle East, right, sometimes, you know, you need to wear the cloth properly, because you know you're not allowed to be really very revealing, you know, all these kind of things, but that kind of shorts are okay in the Western world. So you get what I mean. So make sure that every time you're going to travel, make sure that you do the research first, because anytime you will, this one it will give you trouble for sure. So there are certain places that really this one is you can end up in the jail. So that one is a reality in this world. So make sure all the time research. Just like in Singapore, right? You know, you're not allowed to bring some chewing gums. Yes, so in other countries it might be just normal, but in Singapore's it's not really a normal kind of thing. So it's really, they take it too seriously. Okay, another brutal truth about traveling is a single mistake could be a life and death experience. Yes, so you know, sometimes really it's very dangerous and it's very scary. Like as for myself, I'm scared. You know, the fact of the matter that I'm traveling to a foreign land, it gives me chills to the bones, you know. Yes, so it can really be very, very scary and dangerous. Like in my case, last time when I went to Indonesia, where I hired a motorcycle, and this really motorcycle driver, he drove so fast that to the point I'm so scared, you know, because he's trying to overtake from one truck to another truck, and I told him just slowly, you know, I'm very adventurous person, but because of that thing there, it made me realize, wow, a single mistake could be a life and death experience. So make sure that you really be responsible every time you're going to make a decisions in your traveling, that you know that a single mistake could end up you in perhaps in jail or in a life and death experience. So be responsible every time you're going to make a decisions. There's always consequences happens all the time. So take note of that. So guys, if you learned something from my video, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. This is a place where I take you to the most exotic places in the world, along with travel tips and ideas. And also guys, click that notification bell button so that you get notified every time I'm going to upload a new video. And also guys, click this one video here or here, either this one or this one.